Hey guys, Movie Guy again here, doing another horror movie review. Today we have John Carpenter's The Thing. This film was made in 1982, of course, as I said, directed by John Carpenter. I've also reviewed Halloween, which is, another John Carpenter classic film, which you can check out on my channel. So, The Thing, it's one of my favourite horror films, and not only is it one of my favourite horror films, it's one of my favourite films, definitely, for sure. I just feel that the practical effects are so well executed in this film. I think it's just probably the best practical effects, the best practical effects in the film, which is quite debatable because there have been so many good practical effects in other films, like The Fly and stuff like that. But it's just such a great film. It was adapted from John W. Campbell's novel Who Goes There, which was made into a film before this called The Thing from Another World from the early 50s, which was directed by Howard Hawks, I think. Yeah, and that film was kind of it didn't really follow the novel. It just had like a big guy in a suit, I think it was it Boris Karloff? I'm not sure. A kind of Frankenstein type monster in the original. But then this film, further on in the 80s, John Carpenter remade the film and made it more accurate to the novel. Like the creature was more of a shape-shifting monster sort of thing. I just, the practical effects by Rob Bottin are just so well done. I can't express that any further. It's just, if you don't know what the story is, basically there's this husky being chased through the snow, and then there is a group of Norwegians who are shooting at the dog, and the dog ends up running it to this American research centre in Antarctica, and basically there are these 12 men there. One of them is Kurt Russell, and they pick up the dog, and the Norwegians shoot at the men, and then they end up killing the Norwegians. Basically they take the dog in, and then it takes off from there. So and the dog isn't what it seems. Of course it's the thing, and yes. So also, you can't do a review for the thing without mentioning the score by Ennio Morricone, who did, of course, the music for Good, the Bad and the Ugly, and other really classic films. So it has that sort of dun 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 dun. It's sort of has a kind of John Carpenter-esque score to it. That's what I think he intended to do with the score, to make it kind of similar to the scores John Carpenter has done. And of course, if you've never seen this film, I won't spoil it, but there's a scene in it where there's this head which has legs growing out of it, and it's like a spider creature. Just gives me the chills today, that scene. But the practical effects is just crazy in that scene. And of course, Rob Bottin did the practical effects of the film. He's done films like Total Recall, RoboCop. He's done a lot of makeup effects for films from the 80s and 90s. And he was very young when he did the makeup effects for this film. He was only in his early 20s or something. And he spent hours and hours on it as well. He he put a lot of effort into it. And there's a scene, of course, where they take a blood sample of each one of the men, and they have to test it out to see who's the thing. Just a very intense scene. And of course, I think this is, but for sure, Kurt Russell's best film. So, and the ending as well. I won't give away the ending, but it's a very good ending. It's very ambiguous. You just have no idea what's going to happen. But yeah. So, other actors in this film. It has no other real well-known actors aside from Kurt Russell. But yeah, just just a classic movie. If you've never seen the original, this is the remake, but if you've never seen The Thing, just definitely check it out. You won't be disappointed, I assure you. And this film, of course, had a prequel that came out years later, which I haven't seen yet. And frankly, I don't particularly want to see it, because it's a lot of CGI, and I'm not a big fan of CGI. I prefer just the good old practical effects. I just really have nothing else to say about this. Actually, yeah, I do. One of the most chilling scenes in this film for me is there's a scene in it where Kurt Russell goes to visit this old research station, like abandoned research station, and he comes across this guy sitting in a chair, a dead body of this guy. He's had his throat cut. Just a really chilling scene, very disturbing. And he of course finds this two-headed creature that they take back to the base. Just really good film. If you've never seen it, check it out. I've said that twice now. And of course, this film is very gory. I think the practical effects, for me, still hold up today. Some people think they look pretty dated. I personally disagree. I just think that they're still timeless. They still look really good. And of course, in the background there we have the music Bestiality, which this was music for the film that wasn't even actually in the film. Also on this DVD we have a commentary and like a documentary about the film, which if you do get this DVD, definitely check out the documentary. It's very interesting. We have like all the cast of the film talking about the shoot, and it's very interesting. If you do pick up this DVD, definitely check that out. So thanks for watching, guys. I will be doing more horror movie reviews after this, so stay tuned for those, and thanks for watching.